in the middle of giant flames. Surrounding him, our hero states that he doesn't remember much from what happened here other than the fact that he was saved by a girl. He introduces himself as Takamiya, also known as Taka, and then we see him on the school bus. A girl named Kaguri shows up and is swarmed by all the other girls. Taka sits next to Kaguri in class and attracts her attention as she picks up his eraser and returns it. However, this invites the wrath of the other students who beat him up. This behavior continues for a while, as can be seen in the way Taka is tested by the others. When he goes to take out the trash, our hero finds a message stating that something is going to fall on him, and that's exactly what happens. Taka is in big trouble, but he gets saved by Kaguri, who is revealed to be a fire which some bunny monsters attack the couple, so Kaguri gets to work immediately. She takes down all the monsters, but then Taka is tricked into getting caught by some other beasts. Luckily, Kaguri comes to the rescue and burns them all, after which she explains to Taka that he is her prince and she will protect him at all times. A surviving rabbit monster attacks Taka, so Kaguri activates a flame blast in Spain. Bears no one. Later, Taka is told to stick to Kaguri at all times, and it invites a lot of envy and jealousy. Kaguri keeps her prince protected from his bullies, but it gets too much for him to handle, so he scolds Kaguri and walks away. He then runs into a girl named Kira, who is from the tower witches. She wants to take Taka there, but Kaguri shows up to protect him. Shira summons an entire army of bunny monsters and they attack the couple. Kaguri keeps our hero protected from the blades, and it makes him emotional. This is all it takes for Kaguri to blast everyone to flames, but Kira manages to escape. The next day things only get more interesting as Kurai joins Taka's class along with other tower witches. Our hero wonders what the big deal is with him getting attacked and protected at the same time. He comes to class and witnesses Kaguri torturing the tower witches in hilarious fashion. Taka asks Kira what she really wants, and she says that the witches only need his body and his white stuff. Our hero quickly realizes that he is essentially a boy toy, but then Kaguri offers to end the witches. That's when a wolf witch arrives and steals Taka from the scene. Higuri follows after her and threatens to attack, but the wolf witch summons a wolf to bite Taka. This angers Kaguri, so she uses a fire blast to attack the wolf witch, but instead of our hero, she is the one who gets injured. Our hero is safe for now, but Kaguri tells him that she won't explain why he's in danger. This prompts our hero to worry even more, and then we see some witches having a chat about him. The next day, Kaguri tells Taka that she is a workshop witch who is here to protect her boy toy, because the fate of the world rests in his hand. Taka panics after realizing that he's connected to the demon lord, and then Kaguri mentions he needs to be kept away from the tower witches. The couple goes shopping and Taka notices a crying girl next to a mysterious woman who also turns out to be a witch. She also has her team with her, so Taka is in trouble once again. Kaguri comes to the rescue. Our hero saves the crying girl while the fire witch burns her opponents. With ease, Kaguri realizes that Taka needs to be taught how to fight with magic, so she takes him to school where we meet her mom Kazane, who is the chairperson of witches. Now Kaguri gives her boy toy a lesson in fighting by defeating Kara and her witches in one shot. Despite this, school doesn't get any easier because Kaguri's fan club keeps harassing Taka. This attitude extends to normal classes and even sports sessions, but our hero is spoiled by the fire witch. Now the couple travels in a bus, but are confronted by a witch named Chrono and her demon crocodile. Kaguri is about to fight Chrono, but she gets frozen, and then our hero learns that his soul is connected to the fire witch, which is Whitaca's wounds and injuries transfer to her. Chrono wants Taka to swallow a pill that will awaken his powers, but might also spell doom for the world. She's about to transfer the pill in shady fashion, but Kaguri awakens her goddess form and defeats Chrono using her green flames. The villain doesn't have a choice, so she escapes with her crocodile, and then our heroes are transported outside. There clearly seems to be some kind of past connection between Taka and Kaguri, but he can't figure it out. He also finds the power pill in his pocket, which Chrono managed to sneak in anyway. The fire babe begins training Taka once again, but our hero isn't the best student as can be. Spell on Taka, and then, seen in his sense of panic, Tagari casts an invisibility. She takes him for a ride on her gadget broom. The couple gets close, but then they notice a schoolgirl getting bullied. Taka wants to help, but Kaguri says she only deals with witches. Our hero decides to act anyway, and he goes against the bullies after summoning his broom. However, he can't control the broom and hilariously crashes into the bullies. Luckily, they turn out to be witches, so Kaguri arrives and defeats them with ease. Now we see a witch named Medusa who must be kept locked up at all times to avoid total destruction. However, Medusa smiles and breaks free from her captivity. Now we see Kura and her group team up with Chrono in order to come up with a plan to catch Taka. Now Taka is seen with his sister Kasumi, who wants to know what he is doing with Kaguri. Kasumi is clearly jealous of the situation, so she follows Taka everywhere. Suddenly our hero is caught by Kira and Kaguri has been surrounded by the other witches. This is because Chrono had explained that Kaguri is drawing her magic from Taka, which means that he is her power source, hence keeping them separated is the best way to counter them. Taka is about to be used for his white stuff, but then Kasumi shows up with a giant teddy bear. She is revealed to be a workshop witch as well, and her mission is to protect Taka. Kasumi and Kira engage in a fierce battle filled with punches and kicks, but Kasumi comes out on top. Shira's friend Kaza also shows up, but Kasumi simply becomes bigger and then she attacks both of her enemies. Kasumi emerges victorious and even brings Kaguri with her as she had saved the fire witch from the others. Higuri is happy to see Taka and now offers him to live with her. We also see Chrono's crocodile kidnapping tower witches to make them join her army. Meanwhile Kazum learns that Medusa has broken out and worries for what will happen next. Kasumi and Taka are both shocked to see their mom begging Kaguri to take care of her son. She even asks Taka if Kaguri is her fiancé and gives too much information when she states that she wanted to marry Kazan but couldn't do so because they were both girls. After a lot of dramatic interaction, Taka's mom allows him to go and stay with Kaguri even though Kasumi doesn't like the sound of this. The fire witch tells our hero that her only mission is to protect him, and then she takes him to her giant mansion. Taka is amazed by her wealth, but then Medusa shows up at the mansion in a tank. Kaguri she is unable to match the evil witch's strength, so Taka offers to help. Even though he is useless, Medusa turns Kaguri to stone and says that Taka's soul is linked with hers, so she can't kill her just yet. With no other option, our hero takes the power pill and summons the White Princess Evermillion. This leads to a giant battle which blows up the mansion, and Kazane gets upset upon seeing this. The White Princess emerges victorious and then she tells Taka to offer his eyes to save his fire girl. He replies instantly, but Evermillion was just messing around and tells our hero to kiss Kaguri to bring her back to her human form. Evermillion vanishes and then Medusa appears. So Kaguri fights her with all her might. The fire witch wins the match and then she spends time with Taka at the infirmary while Medusa also gets treated. Next to them an emergency summons is announced, so all the workshop witches attended. However, Kaguri only wants to be with Taka, so he takes her to his house. Taka's mom welcomes them with warmth, but Kasumi gets upset when she sees the couple getting freaky with each other in his room. She lashes out at her mom, but Taka scolds his sister and makes her apologize. At school, Taka and Kaguri are told by a teacher named Mikich that Taka needs to be separated from Kaguri to avoid drama. He then takes our hero to another dimension and explains that the power pill he ate earlier broke one of his seals. The other seals will also break one after the other, and it will make Kazan upset, so Mikich tells Taka to be his prince so that he can keep him safe. However, Kaguri shows up and saves Taka, after which she tells her boy toy that Mikich was just a creep. Now Kaguri calls everyone to the auditorium and announces that Taka is the new school president. This means that no one can mess with them anymore. The students opposed this decision, but Taka reassures them that he will live up to his expectations. Later, Kasumi knocks out Kaguri and kidnaps Taka because she wants to take him away to a distant place where they can live together. However, Kaguri shows up with a dragon beast and wreaks havoc while trying to save her lover boy. Eventually, both Taka and Kasumi are saved from a crash, but then Kaguri forces Taka to make her his older sister. Kazan has had enough, so she calls Taka's mom and says she's coming for an investigation. Taka's mom tells her kids that she had an affair during her marriage and gave birth to Kaguri, so she becomes their stepsister. However, this was just a dream for our hero. Although he finds the fire witch cooking for him, he realizes that Kaguri is now his big sister and principal, and then she tells him that his mom and Kasumi left with Kazane. In the middle of this, we see Kura and the others spying on the couple. Medusa is hiding inside the house and she tells them to wait, but Kara doesn't want to play any games, so she plans for a perfect time to strike Kaguri when she's asleep. However, the fire witch is always awake, so the tower witches fall asleep in the middle of their spy sessions. Kazan and the others come back, so Kaguri goes to greet them. However, Kura and the others attack Taka by distracting him with their bodies. Hazen wants to take Taka away, but then Medusa shows up and we learn that she actually made a deal with Kaguri. Basically, the fire which hid Medusa in the house so that they could eventually emerge and become one to protect Taka from Kazan. Now Kaguri fights her mom in Medusa form but is beaten with ease because the White Princess is not sharing any power power with her now. This is because of Medusa's impurity, so Kazan beats up Kaguri. Our hero channels his inner powers but switches bodies with Kaguri and gets knocked out by Kazanhe and the Fire Witch are now in prison, and Taka learns that Kaze knows about the seals breaking, which is why she is after him regardless. Kaguri states that they must rebel against Kazan, who is later revealed to have lost Medusa to a couple of sister witches. Kaguri needs more power, so she massages Taka's ears and becomes overpowered enough to break out of prison. Chasing confronts them with Chrono by her side, but our heroes manage to escape thanks to the sister witches. Now we see a flashback where Kazan got some girls to guide Kaguri during her introduction in school. The Fire Witch becomes an instant hit with her classmates but is awkward from a social standpoint. The guard girls try their best to help the Fire Witch, but some bullies confront them. Despite this, Kaguri defeats all the bullies just by raising their body temperature. As time passes by, the trio bonds well and they become more social. However, one day Kaguri spots Taka and feels a fire in her chest, which is why she has decided to protect him at all costs. This turns out to be a dream for Taka, and then we see that the Tower Witches have also shifted to his house. Kasumi doesn't like this, and it only gets worse when she sees Kaguri dressing up as a nurse for her lover boy. At school there is total chaos because of a student rebellion. Taka learns that there are horrible rumors being spread about him, and he gets called to the gym for a showdown with a bear girl. Kaguri wants to help her lover boy, but he insists on handling this himself. Taka gets some tips from Kaguri and then he confronts the bear girl while he is beaten down. At first our hero unleashes his powers and defeats the bear girl but refrains from using a finisher move. Tagari does it for him while wearing a cloak, which makes her invisible to the others. Now we learn that the girl spreading rumors was actually joking, but the bear girl got so furious that she ignored the joking part. It's time for summer, and Taka fantasizes about seeing Kaguri in a swimsuit, but the Tower Witches spy on his dreams. It's time for our hero to get some serious training, and he is nervous at first. However, the Fire Witch motivates him and summons a flame beast to make him tougher. Taka struggles but doesn't want to quit, so Kaguri throws him off a building to trigger his reflex. Taka summons a giant version of Kaguri and makes her break a building, but then he passes out. Chrono and Mikic sense this, so they feel that another seal has broken. Now Kaguri thinks back to the time she heard Taka's voice when she was a child. This was what triggered her to pledge her life to saving him. Now Kazan meets the leader of the Tower Witches named Weekend. She triggers a lot of explosions throughout the city and weakens Kazan, after which she makes her a hostage. Now the bear girl attacks Taka and Kaguri. It's a brief battle, but the couple is tricked and put to sleep. They wake up inside a dungeon and we learn that they are actually being hidden from Weekend because Kazan's powers are not protecting them anymore. Weekend finds the couple and is ready to attack them, so Kaguri prepares to fight her. However, she tells Taka that they can't use magic. Now the couple manages to make their way toward an exit but finds the city in disarray. Meanwhile, the other witches talk about the current state of things and come up with a plan to defeat the enemy and save Kazan. Taka wonders if all this destruction is because of him, but Kaguri reassures him that the people he loves are all fine. The Fire Witch says that the main workshop is in danger, so they need to stop Weekend from attacking it. However, things are tough as they can't use magic because of Kazan's weakened state. Meanwhile, a workshop which goes to her friends and is revealed to have bombs strapped to her body. Now Kaguri and Taka are attacked by an evil witch, but the Fire Girl wins with ease due to her swift kicks. The workshop witches struggle to come up with a solution, and then Chrono decides to spring into action. After a chat with her crocodile, Weekend confronts the witches and challenges them to get out of their situation, while Kaguri and Taka enter a magical realm hoping to reawaken everyone's magic. The plan works and the witch girls are able to defeat Weekend with ease. The evil witch is trapped by the bear girl, but this was her plan all along as she activates a bomb and attacks them. Taka senses this and wants to go help the witches, so he awakens his powers. However, Kaguri knocks him out to avoid any danger for her lover boy, and she plans to take on Weekend by herself. The Fire Witch puts Taka in bed and then he finds himself in a flashback. He is watching how his mom and Kazan became friends, and then he sees Kaguri as a girl. She tells to pair her with Taka in school, but then Mickey shows up and tells our hero that he is seeing Kazan's dreams as she was his earlier contractor. The shady teacher explains that he's the bear girl's uncle, and then he takes Taka to a starry dimension which is used to erase memories. Meanwhile, Kasumi fights Weekend's assistant using her giant teddy bear. It's a battle of the teddies which eventually ends with Kasumi getting knocked down over a distraction. A cat girl named Dotori shows up and tells Kaguri about Weekend's location, so she decides to deal with it because Taka is too weak for now. The Fire Witch goes to fight Weekend in a church and avoids all her bombs to hold her against a sword. However, Weekend has too many bombs up her sleeve, so she tires out Kagari after a while. That's when the Fire Witch explains that she is carrying Taka's power with her and wins round 1 with a fire blast. However, Weekend summons some monsters and heals herself, after which Taka and Mikic come under attack by a demon, which things are looking bad, so Mikic transfers Taka back to his body, which is being inspected by Itori. Mikic possesses Itori's doll and informs Taka about Weekend's bombs all over the city. Now Kagari learns that Weekend was simply using her magic to heal herself right from the start, as the bombs were planted way in advance the Fire Witch is attacked. But Taka reaches in time to save her with his powers. With the new boost, Kagari is able to defeat Weekend, but she triggers all the bombs in the city. Meanwhile, Kuro was taken to Kasumi, who was badly injured with the bomb detonated. The city is in ruins and everyone is going to die. That's when Taka calls upon the White Princess to take his life and save everyone, else she does as he asks, and our hero ruins Weekend's plans by saving the city. However, Kagari offers her life instead of Tako's and loses her soul in the process. Weekend uses this chance to stab Taka, but he says that he will always defeat her no matter what. Taka calls her assistant. Itori arrives and rushes to our heroes to help them. Now we see Kasumi waking up, but she attacks Kara over a misunderstanding. Mikic learns about Kagari and tells Taka there's a way to save her. Meanwhile, Chrono reveals she had laid out a trap for Weekend and defeats her with Kazan. Shows up to collect Weekend, but Chrono wants to fight for it, so Kazan takes her down with his Taka needs to kiss Kagari to save her soul by using a ritual to sign their contract again, but he's too shy to do it on the lips. He eventually gives a kiss on Kagan's forehead and it works like a charm. Now our hero is finally reunited with his fire babe and they live happily ever after. Thanks for watching till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.